right. So we got Stig in here. We got Bernie in here. And today we're
Yeah.
gonna yeah. So before we start real quick, just drop your handles where everybody can find you at, starting with you, Stig.
Oh, thank you, and thanks for having me back. Hello, gentlemen. Bernie, hello to you too. I heard you're in California. I'm here in California, in an undisclosed location near Joshua Tree, and I've been doing YouTube videos on the Eye of Africa. I think everybody knows who I am in this kind of general realm, but might as well say there's my website. Nope, that's my YouTube channel right there. youtube.com/@Stig. And I'm going to be loading lots of new videos that nobody's ever seen before from the last 3 years of my 3 trips. I've got a big old hard drive full of them, stuff I've never shared, like the Morocco driving
Big
I did.
old hard drive full.
I got, oh yeah, where is that sucker? I'm going to be taking this with me anywhere I go because this is all I got left. And I do have them on some small.
No, you back it up. You back that big.
This is the backup,
and then you take the backup with
this
you.
This is the backup.
Man, I got like 4 or 5 of them, bro.
Okay, so this is the 8 terabyte. Yeah.
Shit.
Anyways, I'm going to be uploading. I got the Starlink going, and I got my new intro going, and I'm up in my YouTube game, and I just did, and that's what I'm talking about tonight, is the Plato writings, Timaeus and Critias on Atlantis, and I can work it all out for people who have questions. I just did a live stream that's 2 parts. The first part was mainly Timaeus, and the second part was mainly the Critias part, but I can break it all down and hopefully a lot faster than the 3 hours those 2 episodes took. And I'm going to reproduce those too, so you guys can challenge me with some questions. I hope you ask me some tough effing questions. On back to you, Rebirth of the Word.
Nah, it's on Bernie now. He gotta let everybody know.
All right. So my handles are below there. You can see at Bernie and at Crypto Alchemist 369. Those are my YouTube handles. Please follow me. They've been holding me back below 10,000 for 4 years now. I'm at 9,850, and it's like
Benny, that's pretty good. You got a lot going.
That's 4 years, but for 4 years, it's like they dropped me back down to 9,830 every like 2 weeks. It's like I'll make it up to 50, and then they just drop it down. It's like what? Anywho, we ain't here to bitch about that. We're here today to talk about some spiritual alchemy, some demonology, and some ancient Plato and Greek. Like it's gonna be a good episode, and I'm gonna within the next week you're gonna see this guy here haunting this guy here in person. I'm gonna be hassling him. He doesn't even know what he's in for, but it's gonna be a fun, great time. We will IRL stream it.
You're talking about me? You're talking about me?
About this guy right here. We're talking about this guy right here. Yeah.
You're pointing at Tyrone, but I think I got the idea. Yeah, point up.
Definitely pointing at you. Definitely pointing up at you. But this guy right here, hopefully he's going to be joining us at the end of March or mid-March, and then we're going to be both.
Okay, I see what
this guy, and he's got no idea what's going on. It's going to be a great time.
All right. Yep. Exactly. The reason is that I'm looking at the wrong screen, so I guess I have to agree with you.
Nah, it's pretty cool because that's some of the stuff that I was thinking. Like just today, I just created a PowerPoint slide on the next book that I'm going to do on what I've learned from reading this book series. I was going to do it today at 10:30, but we linked up, so I still have it sitting here. But it's just so crazy that when you read this, there's a whole group of people that literally went out to go hunt other people who they felt like that were witches or demons and stuff like that. And they burnt them in the stakes and pushed them off of cliffs and did all kinds of crazy things to them.
They definitely burnt me in my past life.
No, I'm serious. It's crazy, man. The way they made, the way they depict, I guess you can say, on how they treated these individuals back then, right? Because sometimes some people thought the earth was round. Some people thought the earth was flat. Some people tried to heal people with certain medicine. Some people, went the holistic route of curing a disease, and they felt like that was all witchery and stuff like that. Nobody was supposed to have that type of power, I guess you could call it,
Right. So it was a way of suppressing the people. Really, it was alchemist. Hey, alchemist knows how to make tinctures out of roots and out of plants. Oh, that's a witch. That's a wizard. We got to get rid of them. We got to burn them at the stake. But I'm back now, and I'm a full wizard. So they try to burn me. I'm just like plasma back.
It's so crazy because you'll see the magical powers and stuff like that they show and depict in these movies and television shows. And there people will ask, well, why don't they just use them powers against humans? Well, that should just tell you how much they can control their anger versus the people that don't have those powers. Now imagine if the wheels was reversed. You know what I mean? What would those people do with those people?
That's why we're not allowed.
They do the same thing.
Powers, right?
It's called enslavement.
We learned.
Look, who's got the power over us right now? It's the mass media, and they are enslaving us with their commercials, tricking us into looking at their apps and looking at their finance and eating their byproduct corn byproducts. This matrix is real here, and somebody is in power. And that whole Atlantis story was about how they changed their power structure and started forgetting the righteousness stuff. The language Plato used on that was really detailed about how Atlantis changed, and then of course they got.
It's so funny you say that, because let me bring that up because hold on, I want to make sure that I put it in here. Okay, yeah, here we go. So remember how I said I created a thumb or a PowerPoint slide, because I'm gonna be doing a slideshow on this probably in the next.
How about right now? So. Go do it right now.
It's kind of long.
Pop it up.
No, I'm bringing part of
your screen. Show us some pictures.
I'm bringing it up. So this is what I created. This is what I created today. So of course with ChatGPT, I told it what I wanted, right? And I took a picture of the book, because I have the book, right?
Yeah, what was that book? I saw that the one that no, not this one. What was that other one you just did? You just did a teaser on. I liked it.
Yeah, this one.
No, I don't think it was that.
Yeah, I got the actual book.
No, it was Odyssey. It was your Odyssey teaser.
Oh, the Odyssey one. The Odyssey one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna watch that, but then it was only a minute. It was a teaser.
Yeah, it was a teaser. Yeah, I'm going to do a video on that. Yeah. But I literally took a picture and I told ChatGPT what I wanted. And I said, say what I've learned from reading this book. And I've said some witches and demons and ghouls and all this other stuff, worshiping the devil and all this other side. This is what it brought up. It literally made this picture. So one of the myths that come into mind when you read this book by itself, this book is really, it's like almost like an 8th or 9th grader wrote the book, because the spelling is, well, I'm not even going to disrespect an 8th or 9th grader. Maybe like a 4-year-old wrote it, because they don't understand the spelling was off. So one of the myths was the weird spelling means the author was sloppy or the text is full of typos. Reality is early modern English spelling was not standardized, so original printing look off to modern eyes even when they are accurate for the period, meaning that people spelled however the hell they wanted to back then, basically, right?
I saw a great introduction to the where English came from and how the European languages.
I'm like, well, I-E-Y-E. That's I am E-Y-E. That's how I spell I. Because that's just the way I be, and I see me.
No, but that it just makes you it brings a different aspect of understanding what somebody was saying, because you might think that's what they said they meant, because if they used the wrong spelling, could have they used the wrong word, or vice versa, right?
Right, from the interpretations. I get that, right? So it could have been, let the power of the alchemist compel. The power of the alchemist compel is what was really written there, and they mistranslated it, and it used to be an ankh, right? Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when I read books, I really try to understand everything that's written in the book. I don't care about being right or wrong. The only thing that I'm right about is that I have a source and I can go to that source and read it. That's what I'm right on, right? Like telling me that the information is wrong and this, that, and the third, I probably already know that. I just don't give. That's why I don't give to my opinion too much. But when you learn, when I always try to look outside the box. So when I read this book and I hear that the spelling means the author was sloppy and that's a myth, it's just that they spelled however the hell they wanted to back then. I understand that at the end of the day that maybe it could also meant that they meant one word and got a whole different meaning. And it's, something could have just went off on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Mistakes were happening.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
And that's what's happened even in like with editions of the Bible. I mean, I just did a deep dive on, first of all, when was the King James Version written? Test you guys. What year did he, and who was this king? What year was that put out? And what it was a standardized version of all the different I shouldn't say foreign, non-English languages that made up the Bible. What are those three main languages? Test.
Well, I from my research, it was
okay. First, let me answer. You don't want to answer my question. Let me tell you the answer. It was a 1611. The three languages was Hebrew, Greek. A lot of it was Greek. I was surprised. And then it was also Aramaic. And actually, the Aramaic came from the Old Testament.
I got 2 out of 3 right. All right.
And the only thing I want to say is this guy was a Scottish king, but later became the king of the UK. King of England, I guess. I don't know how that worked out, but anyways, 1611, and before that, you had all these different versions.
For some reason, I got right here 1597.
Oh,
okay, so it was okay. I'm not gonna lie, it was a ChatGPT deep dive, so it could have been. It was Grok, and I've been disappointed in Grok. And Grok, messed up with my Plato. I was asking which came first, Critias or Timaeus. And he was wrong. He said it was Critias. And I'm like, okay, because Critias, there's this unfinished writing at the end. And this question was, did Plato, was that his last book and he never finished it? And no, he wrote this other book called Law. Wait, so wait a minute. Then why did you just say he died and that's why it wasn't finished? And he's like, oh, sorry.
Other missing books are there? Maybe.
I don't know. It's just a missing last line of Critias, which is the second of a trilogy. Hermocrates was never written. There's 3 people in that. There's 3. It's a trilogy, and they mention it in the book. That's why you know.
Yeah, I got right here. See, like right here, it says right here. It says page 58. It's on page. Wait, is it? It's not page 58.
Let's ask Google that. Oh, what do you ask?
Right here. It says right here. It says the author of works such as Demonology, 1597.
Who?
Yeah, I don't even.
Who's the author?
You know what's so funny?
Go on.
This is from the archive version.
I'm sorry. Oh, Internet Archive.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to that website and see what it says real quick.
Internet Archive is a good one.
I'm just gonna ask Google what year the King James version was written. It came up.
Oh, you said King James version. I thought.
Yeah, no, I was comparing what you said to the Bible itself.
Oh.
This is happening all the time, and all the time.
This is human error right here.
Sorry about that.
Human error.
Yeah, and it says right here 1611 for the King James Bible. I was talking about who wrote the Bible. Yeah, I'm sorry that you thought I was challenging you on the writer was Scottish. Never mind.
No. I had talked about. I might have heard your question wrong, man.
We were talking about how words get used differently in all these old books, and that was the thing. Like the Bible, the King James version, I've got all the words that were all confused and set them all one version in English. It was like the first English version of the Bible, but of course it was the official, right? And go back to your topic. I didn't mean to sidetrack it. Tell us more about this book, the demonology book.
It's just one of the hardest books to read because the spelling is so off, man. Like you have to really like. It's not like.
Can you show us or give us an example?
It's spell casting too, right? Like spelling, doing spells. So it's like when you're dealing with demons, it's like I wonder about that spelling in the spells themselves.
And that's another thing that I was thinking about too. Was like, am I supposed? Is there a certain way that you're supposed to say it? Because you can definitely tell. That you can tell what the word is sometimes.
Yes,
like it's like so like for the word evenly, instead of it being ENLY, it'll be like EUELY or something like that.
I can't
So you'll
help
be
but
like,
talk about it. There's this channel called Rob Words. Guy's name is Rob Words, and he does this video with this other lady, and they talk about all these word endings, like the word case. Why do we not understand what case is in English grammar? What is the case changes in the nouns? And
what do you mean?
case is just a grammatical term in English, but there's so many few versions and examples. It's other languages and more. So you know how a verb conjugates and changes, like I am, but she is. That's actually not a conjugation. He works, I work, but he works. So that's a conjugation of our verb. In Spanish, it's very different. There's more conjugations to learn. But the thing I'm trying to say here is that this Rob Words guy, he taught me about like case and because I've been looking at ancient Greece, we have to understand different things. I speak Chinese and Spanish, but there's a lot of languages out there that have like German and changes to the noun that we don't understand, and Dutch. That would be a hell of a language to learn. I'm sorry, I'm sidetracking stuff. Get back to what you were saying.
Nah, I was letting you talk because I'm trying to look up some.
I want to see some examples of that, and this.
Yeah, I'm looking at the. I got the archive book version up now. And I'm looking it up here.
I wanted to bring up the different versions of the translations. You know the name of the translation of Plato's Critias that I used. Which one was that?
Oh shit, I don't remember.
Okay, so I'm going to give you examples of case from ancient Greek. Atlantis is Atala. I'm going to pronounce the letters I see.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. I'm going to be back in 5 minutes here. I just got to run into those quick. Okay.
But then when we change, so basically Atlantis means Atlantis, the Atlas Mountains, King Atlas. The Atlantic Ocean is part of it. All those words, there's different endings on the noun when it changes. Like Atlantis, King Atlas, Atlas Mountains. Even though we know that King Atlas... Oh, by the way, another big point about that is that I always say the King Atlas of Mauritania. However, we have a problem with that. Mauritania was named by the Romans, and the Romans pointed at Morocco. So King Atlas was in the Atlas Mountains in Morocco. I mean, I don't know anything about being able to prove the Rashad structure was part of it, but I do know one thing. Plato pointed to those Atlas Mountains, and it's not an allegory at all. Did you find any? Oh, you got to show us. Yeah, let's see those examples. I want to see that.
So here you go. So you got like right here. It says, "I shall with good will do the best I can," but I think is with an e at the end. I don't even know what this word right here is. Difficiller.
I can't see it very clearly. Let me look one more time. I think it's difficiler. Difficiller. Interesting. And then that word after. No, go back one. Go back one. You had it. There it is. Go up.
Oh yeah, it's right there. Is that a word? I don't know if this is a word. I was trying to look up this word because I've never seen that word before.
The more, if I had to guess, it means the one that's more difficult.
Oh, it's something with your colon.
It is? Oh my God!
Yeah,
but I think that
with your colon.
In self general, it is the logic schools. What? No, that couldn't be it. This is this is old English.
Always. You see where it says
you
always
zoom
right
in.
here?
Yes.
You see that? Always right there.
Is that like always? Like always?
Always.
And so there's spelling like
says, that. You have been. You see where it says and whiches have been. It's spelled different. H-A-U.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. Why does this say King James also on there?
Because that's the writer of the key. That's the one who founded the King James version.
Oh, that's
Bible,
where we got confused earlier because we were talking about the same dude. Yeah. I didn't realize that. Okay, well there you go. So it's the same writer. That's why it's all messed up. King James, the first demonology. Okay, I see. And yeah, there certainly is a lot. In fact, I couldn't read the King James Bible the first time I tried. I could not
So
even read
Anya
it.
said that's the Latin way to spell it.
Well, that makes sense too. And
But I'm just saying that's why I say it's hard to read, because you actually have to, like, what the fuck is this right here? This VNCACOUTH. Let me see what that is.
well, what you have to do is put everything in. Are you putting it in
That's not even a
ChatGPT
word.
right now?
No, I can hit it and I have a dictionary on my thing and it'll go straight to a dictionary on my computer.
I would copy and paste the whole passage and say, please create an American English modern day version of this.
No, I'm just saying, look right here. Look, read this right here. Okay, so watch this. Here we go. We're going to go right here. Crying out, VPON. Upon. That's what I'm saying.
The sudden
and great admiration for the, I don't even know what this word right here is.
Yeah, I would say hold on, let me look at that for a second. And then what's that next word?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so when she alleged, okay, so you know what? You really ought to check out this guy, Rob Words. This guy, Rob Words, is into this. And actually, the lady that he has on his show, they share another channel too. I forgot her name. She knows about this stuff.
So sict, SIC, that SICHT, that means sight.
Well, what is VNCOTA? Is that an E or a C?
It says it's a VNC.
It looks like enough. Okay, so remember the V could be a U.
Yeah.
And so it could be uncouth.
So, yeah, I was thinking uncovered sight.
No, uncouth sight. It's an uncouth sight that she alleged to. And then we see a U instead of a V. And she said to have seen. They're swapping. She alleged to have seen. It was an uncouth sight that she alleged to have seen.
What does uncouth mean?
Uncouth means not
awkward. Okay, I got it.
Awkward. Or
yeah,
also,
but it's yeah, there we go. Awkward, yeah.
But not just awkward. It could be like sloppy, like somebody who's not cultured. Somebody who curses, he's uncouth. I learned that from Happy Days. Somebody called maybe the fawns uncouth.
Oh, that's dope. I learned a new word. But look, that's how they spell devil. They spell devil with 2 L's.
So this is Old English. You're reading Old English here, right?
Yeah, you're reading that time frame.
I was just messing with ChatGPT to take this and write it in regular everyday English. And you wouldn't believe what I had to do. It was so easy. Well, you have to make sure you tell it, like, I just say, do it for a 10-year-old. Write it as if 2 10-year-olds are talking to each other. And Grok.
Yeah, that's what I like to do that too. I do that. I like to do that too.
I'd like to show you later. I'll show you an example of what I did. It was just today I did it. And I also got ChatGPT to translate. Never mind. Translate from English to ancient Greek. Maybe. And this Old English that we're looking at here, I'm wondering.
I told you what you need to do is you need to go get that strong concordance. Also, they have an online version, and look up the words. Every time you look up a word on that Greek translation from ChatGPT, you need to be pulling up the strong concordance and see what other stuff it can mean. Now you probably have to do that with every word too.
I was literally using power tools today. I have my tape measure right here. I've got my my electricity sensor here, so I can do electric wiring. I was working all day long, and man, I was ready to go to sleep. So I'm just letting you know, I can't be. I have to prioritize what I get to do for fun, which is this. Unfortunately, nowadays, I wasn't on the computer for 3 days. I'll show you a picture. Maybe I sent it already. I've been losing weight. And
look right here where they said, oh, shoot. I don't know. He said he was doing.
I know. What he's actually chatting up. I'm just joking. I know he's listening.
Now look, KYNDE. That's
kind.
Kind. Yeah.
Type.
So Yeah. So that's why I was just telling you, like, all right, here we go. Here's a good part.
It's actually quite
Although
romantic. When was this version printed? Can you tell me the printing date on this?
1597.
Okay, that's when it was first written, but that book in your hand wasn't printed in 1597.
No, mine is a Forgotten's book section. So what's so good about these books right here is you can support them, the Forgotten books, these people right here. Here,
Gotcha.
let me make my hold on. Let me make it bigger
Interesting.
real
You know,
quick.
I'm going to actually do a deep dive on all the other books that King James published. Right now, I'm going to do a grok search. King James 1, the first. Is that the
So
same King James?
Yeah, it's the same one. So what's so good about this version, or I should say any version at that, as long as even the online version, is for Forgotten books. You can get up to, let me see, I think they have it in the back. They give you a website of all their books for free, and it's like thousands of books too, man. Like,
give me a list of all books written by King James 1. Sorry, I'm lazy. I don't want to type that.
So you can go to www.forgottenbooks.org, and you can download books from them with PDF. Now, what I like is I got a lot of hard copies, but I also have a Kindle. I really have a Kindle too, so I love a Kindle. But what I like to do is whatever book that I personally want to get, I see if it's on Internet Archive first, and then I download the PDF version. If it's not, then I go buy it on Amazon because books get very expensive. Somebody said it was Sweet Baby Robin Bronson. He put on there, you guys are talking about the Holy Bible. I like the Holy Bible. I have the New Jerusalem Bible right here, the study edition.
Okay,
This book
sorry
was
to tell
written
you.
like.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry I
No, go.
interrupted. I was just
No,
going to
go
say
ahead.
that he commissioned and authorized it. Yeah, of course I know he didn't write it, because I asked, did King James 1 write the King James version? Well, obviously he didn't write it. He commissioned it because it was he was just kind of compiling a common language that everybody could understand, so they could. I'm sorry, I think that the Bible was a tool to enslave and exploit people. So even though you guys are, thank you for wow, nice picture, Sweet Baby Bronson. Why does he have such a good picture there? That must not. I guess that's his YouTube picture, eh? But anyways, I'm not a very religious person, but I've been studying the Bible quite a bit recently because, there's a few things that I've been getting from it, and I've been getting into it with ChatGPT. You know, especially with the talking part. We can talk to ChatGPT now, and I'm paying for Grok because I have to pay for the blue check mark to share it on X. I wonder how many people came from X from this link. How you doing, Sweet Baby Bronson? Where are you at tonight? Nice picture. I like that picture.
No, it's just look, man. I'm gonna show you this part right here,
Well,
man.
okay, well now Anna, while you're showing us, Anna says, I think half the Bible is translated wrong. And that's what I'm just saying. We need to go back to those original documents and redo it. Go back to the actual documents in the Torah from the original language. And even that's going to be changed, because you know that there's no actual piece of paper that Plato wrote on that still exists. It was the students of the students that copied it and saved it, and then finally they got, published. But it was students copying students of Plato that copied these books. So in the Bible,
yeah,
too.
that's how the Sumerian text was too. The Sumerian text, when people talk about the Anuna, the Anunnaki, and all that stuff, they're literally getting this information from schools where people were just copying and recopying tales over and over again. And what's so interesting to me is that a lot of people don't understand this, and I question this a lot. The best way to make people remember things is by telling them a story that's entertaining. So those stories about those guys, the Anuna, the Anunnaki, that could have just been a teaching tool. So they may have not even really been real. You know what I mean? So they could have just been a teaching tool, because I'm telling you, they find these tablets mostly in like little libraries and schools, but libraries and schools, or libraries back then, period, were schools. And then they had private tutors and teachers later on. And then they made it. They kind of did both of them, and that's why you got homeschooling, and that's why you have schools and institutions and stuff like that. So it's
Well,
just
I have to believe it or not. I got into it with I forget which one, Grok and I've just found out today that the Quran has the stories of Abraham. I knew Abraham was mentioned, but not just Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. I mean, they're all in there. It's like, well, why are they fighting? I don't understand, because their books have the same people.
Yeah, well, if I'm not mistaken, Jesus is mentioned more in the Quran than he is in the Bible, in the Holy Bible.
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't the whole New Testament about Jesus? So if that's true, what you said, then, I mean, and also the book of Enoch is part of the Torah, apparently, or other documents, but it's not in the Bible. And Eric von Daniken just died, right? EVD. And he was that story. Now, you please correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you know more about this than I do. But is that about is that a Sumerian text, or is that an ancient Jewish text? The story, the Chariots of the God story that Eric von Daniken wrote.
Well, he based his stuff off of different texts. He based his stuff off the Mesopotamians, the Egyptians, the Mesoamericans. He basically, what he did was, there was an expert in each field. So there was an expert in Mesopotamian, there was an expert in Egyptian, there was an expert in Japanese myths and Greek myth and Mesopotamian, and so then
something just I think you had a little glitch or something. Can you repeat that part?
No, I was trying to think of how to say it. Like man, I don't even know how to put it in words, bro, to be honest with you.
LTC Soundlab says he correlated a lot of multiple myths in multiple cultures, brought them together. That's what he said right there in the chat.
Well, yeah, he brought
Sweet Baby Bronson says, Bernie, can you drop ROTW channel link? What's the ROTW? What is that? Is that yours? Rebirth of the Word? Rebirth of the Word, ROTW. Rebirth of the Word. What's your channel link? It's Rebirth of the Word.
Rebirth of the Word 7099.
Oh, there it is. It's in your name right there. You chatted after that. Rebirth of the Word 7099. That's a YouTube. At Rebirth of the Word 799. Okay, Bernie's back.
That would be Rebirth of the World. ROTW. Rebirth.
No, not world. Not world.
So,
it's Word.
You know what it is. I'm always watching. I'm around.
Hey, Bernie, it's not world. It's Word.
Word. Yeah.
Rebirth of the Word. Anna says, guys, don't hate me, but the story about Virgin Mary is the coolest scam of the last 2,000 years. Virgin back then was just a maiden young woman.
Yep.
Virgin back then was just a maiden young woman. Interesting point, Anna. As opposed to specializing as so LTC says specializing in one culture. Zachariah's studies of Sumerians was really amplified. Zachariah who? Sitchin? Okay. And what's next? Drop the link. Just drop the link. We got to get the link dropped. That would be Tyrone's job because it's his thing. I'll get it in a second.
Yeah, I'm getting it now.
You could just well, wait a minute. Where are you watching, Sweet Baby? You over at my channel watching? Let's see what's going on here. You over at my channel watching? No, you aren't. You're not over at my channel watching. You must be at Bernie's channel watching if you don't know Tyrone's. Okay, no. So I wanted to say something about well, anyways, I didn't want to go too off topic, but the words being misinterpreted over the years. That guy Rob Words and his female collaborator, who I forget her name, they do a lot of deep dives and all that. And my channel is over here right underneath my picture, which is youtube.com/@Stig. And today I did a deep dive on Plato's Critias and Timaeus, and I learned a lot about the mistakes that were made. Like even me, I misinterpreted diverse islands in the open sea. I thought it was divers islands, islands that divers lived on, maybe. And I was saying that for years and years. The Old English got turned around on purpose because they want to deflect. They want to keep people from learning how to read. They want people to be illiterate, not just now. They want it now too. That's why we need lawyers before we can get in front of a judge, because they're using words that we're taught not to understand. And the education system's so bad. Like nobody knows any of this that we're talking about except for the few. Like Anna, she seems to know her stuff. Reducing words. Let me read those.
No, but that's why I say, man, it's just so important, because like Eric von Daniken, he just basically goes to, okay, so he basically just goes to different experts and just compiles it into a book, right? So instead of having to read about the Mesopotamians in one book, the Egyptians in another book, and the Greeks in another book, you can read his book and get a little synopsis basically of it. But you have to go to the sources. You have to go, he uses scholars and academics for his sources. So when Oxford University says that there's text that says that gods come from the sky, he equated that to, okay, then they had to have been extraterrestrials. Because there's no other way that
exactly. Look, and I listened to another translation of when I was doing the Plato stuff, and I got a totally different picture. And you get a complete different picture. And there's so many ambiguities in words. A word has so many different meanings. And think about okay, so Sweet Baby Bronson says you got to believe the Bible, you got to have faith. But I'm saying I'm dismantling the Bible because I want to understand it more. I want to know what this whole passage in Genesis about the Nephilim is about. So I want to go back to this is going to be in Hebrew, right? This is going to be in the Torah. I want that ancient Hebrew. I want to see what they said about the Nephilim, not King James. So
that's the thing. So that's why I say you got to go to the Strong's Concordance, because if you go to the Strong's Concordance, right, then you'll see what the Greeks said from the Aramaic and Hebrew text. That's why I always say me personally, that I have to go to the origins of the word. What is the oldest known version of that word? Because you can have a word that means one thing 1,000 years ago, and then, in today's world, it means something totally different. But if you're reading the Holy Bible, then you got to go to the original, the word that was closest to the Bible that it was written in at that time, to understand what that word meant. Because there's different versions of the Bible at that. You got the Geneva version, which is the oldest version. You have the King James version. You got the New International Version. You got the KJV 21st century version. You got you got all these different versions that came out. You got Mormonism, and you got Jehovah's Witness Bibles.
Now you're getting into it. Like the Jehovah's Witness. Look, and then you talk about the Torah. The other end of it is before it was in any Old Testament, it was the Testament before Christ. It was the Torah, right? And the Torah was around long before Christ was born. So it was just attached to it. And the thing about the Old Testament is, the funny thing is when I was growing up, I was always looking at the Bibles in hotel rooms. I didn't really know. I found myself in a few hotel rooms when I was a young lad, got to make some money. And I'm just joking. And so there's that free Bible in the drawer, right? There's that free Bible, but they would only show the New Testament. I'm like, wait a minute. I want the story of Adam and Eve. I want Genesis. I want the creation of the world. Of course, when I tried to read it, I couldn't understand anything. So I'll get it. I've got here. Let me show you my Bible. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Well, I'll tell you what, Crypto, where's Crypto at? Why don't you take that image down and put up the next one, the next part, because you've had that highlighted for such a while there, and I would like to see like the next. What did you learn from this book, Demonology?
Well, I just nothing really. Just like it was just mainly about what to look for in a witch, how to hunt them down, what to do with them, why they're considered witches, and they gave you little categories and little bullet points about, what was basically considered a witch, and any kind of necromancing and all that, anything
What does
that.
that term mean? Necromancing. What does that mean?
Well,
Romance of death?
there's so many different ways to look at that, because like I said, I always go back to the origins of the word. So when I look up the word necromancer, necromancing, or necromancer, or anything like that, like witches or anything like that, because they say witches can talk to the dead too. It's just basically somebody who can communicate with the dead, just like witches can in some cells, putting spells on people and stuff like that. A good example of that is the movie Hocus Pocus. If you grew up and watched that movie in the old days, Hocus Pocus, remember they were able to summon
It's been a while.
somebody from the grave. So
Hocus Pocus. Who's in that? I'm gonna look that up while you.
That's oh man, Bette Miller. I think that's her name. I can't remember.
Oh, Bette Midler. Okay, now I remember. Yeah, they did a Hocus Pocus 2 as well. I remember now. Yeah, Bette Midler, and I don't think I ever watched it, to be honest. How's my microphone? I mean, turning it back up. It auto goes down to 8 by itself. I don't get what's going on here. It auto adjusts.
I keep an eye on it. Yeah, but it just mainly means something that, like, communication with the dead or the spirit of some sort. But it'd be like, oh yeah, that's a pretty dope ass Bible.
This is my Bible, yeah. And I didn't mean to interrupt you. Finish what you were saying about Hocus Pocus. I was just showing it.
No, I was just saying that's what a necromancer is, or necromancing is. Is just being able to they do rituals, they communicate with the dead. The word necros comes from dead. It means dead. So it's just anything with the unliving, basically.
Okay, all right. Because I saw a really cool a TV show, and the woman, she was an android. She would turn into a necromancer, and she would kill everyone. This Bible, by the way, I wanted to point this out. I wanted to check and see, is this a King James version? Here's a picture of Christ knocking on a door. And the question I have is, why is he looking behind him when he's knocking like that, right? Why is he looking over there? If you're knocking, you should be like looking at the door, I think. But he's looking behind him. Who's he looking at? Over here it says authorized or King James version. What does that mean? I think that has to do with like the Old Testament is authorized, but the New Testament is King James. Am I wrong? Why
no,
does
it's just
yeah.
No, it says it says authorized or King James version. So it's either authorized from King James, the version from it could be a reprint of the King James version in their own print, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the King James version, I've heard so many times, is actually copyrighted, which I don't understand how, but
what? Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, if you start printing it, then you're going to get in trouble, right? If you start printing it. But can you imagine that they would do anything about that? Seems weird that they would do that.
Well, anybody can write a Bible, honestly. I mean, all you gotta do is just go to the Strong's Concordance and just really, in a matter of sense, just translate it in your own words. So, like, when you're reading it, all you gotta do is just change up a couple of words, and all you gotta do is just say you use the Strong's Concordance, and different. I mean, they have different ways that you could do it. So, I don't know if you can use the word Holy Bible. I'm sure you can use the word Holy Bible, because all that means is just holy books. That's all it is, because Bible means books.
Right. Biblioteca. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? The book. The holy book. Well, anyways, this thing has the it says here, I shouldn't have just closed the page. It says it has all the previous translations. It says Old and New Testaments translated out of the original tongues and with all former translations, diligently compared and revised. Then it says the red letter edition. I guess that means there's red letters. No, I don't see any. And then it says pictorial pronouncing dictionary and other interesting instructive features. I think that's in the back, some extra thing. But when you look at this, it says chapter 1, it says before Christ. Wait, I got to look. It's so small. Even this big book, I still can't read without a magnifying glass. Before Christ, about 1690, the book of Job, chapter 1. Before Christ, about 1690. Before Christ, about 20? Oh, 6. And then there's a lot of cliff note. I'll just show you the page so you can kind of get a picture of what I'm talking about. That's the book of Job, and that's chapter 1. And you can see down the middle, right at the top, it's telling the distance of time before Christ. And then below all that, it's giving a lot of other cliff notes. I am going to fill you in right now with my magnifying glass. Moses is thought to have written, see, they say wrote, bad English, right? Moses is thought to have written the book of Jobs, whilst among the Madianites before Christ, about 1520, and then some chapters, just notes, just some. It's kind of hard to understand all these weird notes talking about different
All
parts.
Right, so it's, I think they have the rights is at Cambridge, but you can redo your own King James version.
Well, okay, good. Then
But
yeah,
you
well,
must follow. But it says you must follow some rules, like you must not copy from modern study Bibles, editions
Right.
with notes, commentary, cross references, formatting, publisher enhanced layouts. Use a public domain, for example, Project Gutenberg KJV, or authorized public domain KJV repositories. So that's probably what that is. That's probably that one right there that you have is an authorized public domain KJV repository.
Gotcha.
Meaning that
public domain.
Yeah.
Yep. And you see that there's no way they can say the King James Bible is in copyright free public domain. I think that if you just go and find a version of it that's older than 100 or 200 years, and you're fine. And you can literally copy it word for word and sell it. In my mind, I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. And it's public domain. Right now, Mickey Mouse is public domain. But if you don't know it, Disney has different versions of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
So the only one that's public. The only one that's public domain is the one Steamboat Willie, right? That first cartoon. That Mickey Mouse is currently the first one that's out of the private sector and into public domain. Let me say this: that I met you at Cosmic Summit, and that's where Michael Donnellan, who you interviewed on your channel, and of course we both met Randall Carlson there. Both of those guys always talking about how many different translations of Plato's works there is. Well, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter anymore. I don't care if you've had 17 different versions of translations of Plato. It's only 20 pages, brah. And now we have AI, and we can get the ancient original text, put it into AI, and have it translated literally word for word. Then we do it again and find out what they were actually trying to say, because literal translations don't cut the mustard either. But we don't have to deal with all these. What was the name of the translation that you said I had and you used?
The one that I use, it's called Benjamin Jowett.
Jowett.
Yeah, but that's the same one. That's the same one that he uses too. That's the same one that.
Well, I think it's because it's the best translation to date, right?
Well, it's the oldest. It's one of the oldest translations that most people use anyway. Is Benjamin Jowett's.
When I was studying for my presentation,
it's like the original, and then they altered it over and over and over.
Yeah, people after him altered it because they had different theories. One thing that I learned about Benjamin Jowett was he wasn't somebody that leaned one way or the other. He was just somebody that said, "Hey, this is what I think the text says."
Right, like unbiased, just trying to do the translation, just like you, Rebirth of the Word. That's why Rebirth of the Word suits you so well, because you're just reinventing the original word.
Well, listen, let me say that before the Pillars of Hercules is really what Plato wrote. He didn't write beyond the pillars. He said before. So actually, in Plato's words, Atlantis starts right there at the Pillars of Hercules. even though to get to the allotment that the twin received, you have to go through them. And then he says Cadiz right there. Plato tells us exactly where Atlantis is. And they use all these translations to deflect the truth. Nowhere in that, and I did a deep dive on this. I can show you slides on this. Nowhere in that did he say, oh, we're going to go straight out into the Atlantic Ocean. That's deflection, in my opinion.
Hey, what was that, Bernie, that you just brought, that you grabbed?
So there was a question in the chat by Sweet Baby Brownson. I'm saying I look a lot healthier. What am I doing? Well, one, I'm in California, and I'm climbing mountains every day, and I'm out in the sun, so that's pretty awesome. But number two, I've been consuming a lot of so this is the ionic water, this is ionic silver, this is ionic gold, and then consuming small amounts of the actual powders, 24 karat purple gold and light molecule, and then 99.999% silver monoatomic in the silver. So yeah, this is probably a combination of California sunshine and the ionic gold and monoatomics.
Good to go.
Not health advice. This is not health advice. And but as I continue to guinea pig on myself, it's clear, I would hope to everyone, that I'm climbing mountains daily. So if I was getting heavy metal poisoning, I'd probably be doing the opposite and dying. So, you know.
No, it's funny you say that, because we was at like Stig was talking about, we was at
Cosmic
Summit, and they was actually selling that type of stuff there too.
As they should, because people
you gotta get the right stuff though, because it's like, if it's done wrong, here, hold on, let me show you.
No, you're right, because they did I can't remember who it was that did the presentation, but somebody did a whole presentation on it. Billy Carson, matter of fact, because we were talking about ancient aliens, he sells his own type of stuff like that too.
Oh yeah, of course he does. They got to make their money, and
well, no, there's making money, but then there's poisoning yourselves, and it's like, I've rediscovered the most purest way of making this ormus, the monoatomics and the ionics, and that there's too many frauds out there. And so, like I said, I make mine out of a pure metal element anodes of silver for the silver and gold for the gold, right? And then so this right here, this looks just like that silver, right? That pure monoatomic, but this is made out of aluminum. You drink this, it's going to kill you. You don't want this. But there it is, the exact same white powder, just like the silver, right? But it's aluminum. You don't want that. Or a lot of them, they'll take the gold or the silver. They'll start with pure gold or silver, but then you'll see that it's actually turns blue. It's oxidized, and that'll kill you. That's also what literally gives you heavy metal poisoning. So it's like, if you get the bad stuff, you're just going to die, and you don't want it. And that there's a lot of people that will claim that it's monoatomic gold or ormus gold, but they make it out of seawater. And it's like this aluminum stuff, right? It's like all the elements turn into this monoatomic. So you're getting all the pollution in the ocean, any chemical, any element that's dissolved into the water, you're getting that in the monoatomic form. And then they're trying to claim that it's gold, where mine is actually made solely out of gold when I claim it's gold, not a bunch of toxic pollutants in the water.
Yeah, see, I don't know nothing about that stuff. I just know that they was talking about that type of stuff from Cosmic Summit. I know a little bit about it. I know that in the ancient text they talk about stuff like that too.
Oh yeah, see, and that's where I learned it from, is from Sir Isaac Newton's alchemy and him writing about those before him. And
it's a lot of talk on that in Freemasonry too. I just read like three books. Matter of fact, Saint Germain. Matter of fact, speaking of that, it is known that Saint Germain had something like that too.
This is Saint Germain's purple potion, and it's
Yeah,
the pure monatomic
that's what I'm
gold.
telling you, man. That
Yeah,
stuff
it
is
started as the white, so I formed it out of the pure 24 karat gold. It turned into the white powder. Then I took it and I put it outside in the full summer solstice sunlight, and it turned purple. And what that means is that the light waves, the wave particle duality, the sun on the strongest day came in and it hit the monoatomic gold, and it created photonic bonding between gold molecules. So this is physical gold and light. This is physical gold and light. It's the monoatomic gold and light. Like,
I used to be involved in photonic
magic. Right
I used to be involved in the photonic translation into digital photonic to digital data for fiber optic systems. So when you mentioned photonics, I'm wondering how you're actually taking the photonic. You're taking the photon.
Yeah, so the sun turning into photons as it bonds with the other gold into these plasmid monomolecule clusters. And
You know,
yes,
sweet
you
baby.
should be scared. You should
yeah, I
be
was just gonna
scared
say
because
that. I was
you
just
drink
I
the
was just
wrong
gonna say that.
stuff, you're gonna die, right? So you gotta be
Yeah.
afraid. I experiment always on plants first when I make stuff. I rinse out all the salt, and then
That's what I was just about to bring up. A lot of people who garden are into what you're doing, and that's something that I found out. That's two things that is that's related, is that people who garden, they, if it's good enough to put into their plants, it's good enough to put into your body. That's how they look at it as, because
Yeah.
it's a natural substance from that's why you don't see dogs drinking Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Or soda. They don't
Exactly,
drink.
right?
So we
So-
drink that shit. And you know what's so funny is they have a crazier sense than we do. And that's so interesting you say that, because um when I read the ancient texts, especially when I read about Mesopotamian and ancient Egyptian texts, they always talk about that type of, the golden water drink or silver drink. And then when you talk Saint Germain, I read like 13, 14 of his books, for 13 or 14 books just based on Saint Germain just this month. And that's what they talked about him, that he never really ate anything. They never really seen him eat anything, but he always had some kind of substance.
I literally, Tyrone, when I drink this stuff sometimes, like I would go like 4 to 5 days without eating, just consuming a little bit of the monoatomics, and it just energizes you. It's pretty wild. But
no, I believe it, bro. I'm telling you.
I
always. Go ahead.
So the purple gold, the first time it costs a lot because I make it out of physical gold. But I was like, all right, the first year I put a little bit of this purple monotonic powder down on a lettuce plant from seed. It grew 6 feet tall, Tyrone. Me and my dad ate 30 salads off of this one lettuce plant. And I was in Canada, like that. We have a very short growing season, and I've got pictures of it. I've documented it on my channel before. So it's like, you know what? If the lettuce plant's growing 6 feet, I think it's good enough for me.
No, I'm telling you, 100%. Every Freemasonry that I've read from always talks about those type of drinks, gold and silver. And then
Yes,
I know Billy Carson sells it. He talks a lot about it on his YouTube, or he used to, at least. I'm sure he still does.
But I think he stopped because he found out that there's these fraudsters out there that claim it's gold, but it's poison, or that they claim it's the right stuff, but it's blue and it's oxidized and it's poison. And it's hard to get a reliable source unless you're dealing with the adept alchemist here that rediscovered the ancient ways of using electricity to make it. And that's the big secret, is the ancients had electricity, and that's how they were able to make it.
I saw your post. I saw your diodes you were creating. You were winding wire to create
electrodes.
Electrodes,
not diodes.
Sorry, electrodes.
Yes. Yeah, so here's some of them right here. Great segue, Stig. We got one right there. Bam.
Copper wire, right?
Copper. So I actually use several metals so that because I'm making solenoids in the coil winding, which creates the EM field when you move it with motion, and then I have a ferrite core within it, so that creates the electromagnetic. And then I also have aluminum in between the different coil solenoids, and that actually creates a battery. So it's like it's multiple different energies all in one, and it's actual electromagnetic engineering. And then when you actually spin it around your hand, it's like you can feel the energy going through it. It'll like make your fingers twitch, like it's like actual prana or chi. And then the coil, the triple solenoid coil, especially when you hold that and you move this around, you're actually generating from physics, electrical engineering, and energetic electromagnetic fields through this coil. But it's a triple, so you got the field within the field within the field, which gives you the plasma. And that is, well, that's a major secret on how my technology works.
Can you do that on my sciatic nerve, please?
Well, I guess you're going to have to come pick me up, Mr. Stig. And yes, we can. And Nathan was amazed. He held the coil under his hand and was doing it. And he's like, oh my God, I still feel it even through my hand. And I was like, yeah, that's how it works. And
I was reading. I should look more. I should have looked more into it. But there was this device that they use some type of energy, like they put somebody in a box and it would help get rid of the cancer. Like they broke it up with frequency or something like that.
Oh, see, that's the next part of our experiments. And not to break any YouTube guidelines, this is strictly science, but we got the frequency generator and we're going to be plugging this into the coils and putting them frequencies out in the proper geometric patterns, cymatic frequency patterns.
Can you do cymatics? Cymatic
yes,
pattern?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly.
I got something in my eye. I got to go wash my eye out. I'll be right back.
So let me ask you something. Do you have a college degree in this?
So I did three semester sessions of general sciences in post-secondary university, and I could only ever make it to the third term when I'd be getting kicked out of class for presenting evidence. Like some of the times it'd be like in astronomy and I'd be presenting them fucking NASA satellite pictures from earlier that day. And they'd kick me out of class. I'm like, why the F am I paying money to be here? And so it's like.
No, the reason why I asked that is because, in my field, in the history field, you don't need a college degree, PhD to understand what's going on. If there's people who already have these PhDs, and
they're the ones that are stuck in the box, right? They can't think outside.
So like with people like you, we miss out on so many opportunities to better ourselves in this world because they look for that certificate of a college degree. They say, oh, well, you never went to college. We can't look at this. We're not even going to waste our time. And I think that's I think that shit blows because so many people have a passion. My thing is like everything that I have right in front of me. Right?
It's called gatekeeping. And I'm telling you right now, if I could go back, I have a master's degree in international management. It never made me any money. If I can go back in time, I'd never go to college at all. I mean, obviously,
I'm not saying don't go.
I didn't mind my classes, right? Like I got a good experience out of it, but I didn't go for the full degree. Right, and that's the key, right? So
I'm against all education. Education is part of the problem. In my opinion.
I am all for self-education.
I'm for that too. But I think people should.
You need a classroom too. Though.
I think people get more educated when they get to experiment with their passion. Me with all this mythology and all this stuff that I have, if I would have did this when I was, in my early 18, 19, 20 years, I would have a whole array of so much different knowledge and so much different equipment. There's this one guy, y'all remember how these CB radio dudes used to be back in the old days. You look at these dudes now, they have all kinds of CB radios. They have monitors everywhere. Their equipment everywhere. They put a lot of money into their equipment. I can just think about
not just CB, but ham radio as well.
Ham radios and stuff like that. GPS.
I can go around the world, right?
All kinds of shit. But that's what I'm saying. People, but see, they entertain the world. There are people who need to be entertained, so they're entertaining the world while they're doing it. I just don't see why we can't, let people chase their passions. You know what I mean? Like. I could just, and it's not even the money that's involved. If you create good content, like whether Like one of the big things that I just started in 2025 was going to museums. I've been to museums all the way to Washington, D.C., all the way to Key West, Florida, to, Alabama, Tennessee, California. I've been to different places, but in 2025, I just recently decided to make videos of these places, right? There's a lot of history everywhere. And
I've been
most
watching
people are,
those.
yeah, so many people are, and I got like 10 videos that I still need to upload, but I'm doing them slowly because I want to keep it, going with consistency. But we have a lot of history in our own backyard. Hell, here in the South where I'm at right now, we have a lot of museums. Like, and I'm gonna be traveling. My bucket list is to go to each state and go to at least one historical site in each state, whether it's a museum, a state park, a federal park, a history marker, something historical. I'm gonna go to each state and I'm gonna make a video of it. And it's
I
a
love
recording
that.
of my journey. Yeah, it's my
I want to
journey.
join you for as many of those as possible, and we're
Bro, I'm
definitely
telling
doing
you.
California together.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
And Nevada and Arizona, right there, all close together. We can do all three.
Bro,
right?
I'm telling you,
Yeah, New Mexico too, and
And New
there's so
Mexico,
much
yeah.
stuff.
this year I told, because I have some things that are going to help me out, that's going to be able to help me out and go travel. And most of that is going to be coming in July. So mostly anytime after July, that's when I'm going to be free. I want to do March for California, but if that's not if that's a no-go, that's okay, because I'm definitely going to travel everywhere after July for a fact. That's
Yeah.
because
Tesla back in August.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Matter of fact, I'm going to that as soon as that, for 100% fact, I'm going to that. 100% fact, I'm going to that. And I can go to a museum or a park or somewhere near there.
We're doing the whole tour. We're doing the whole Albuquerque tour, my friend.
Shit, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, that's perfect.
So
because
there's the there's the Roswell, New Mexico Alien Museum that's like a couple hours from there. But then there's also I went to that one, and then I also went to the Nuclear Museum in Albuquerque, and that's like the development of the atomic bomb and all of that. It was pretty sweet. It was crazy, actually. It was pretty wild. But yeah. So we're going to be repeating it together, Tyrone, because it's a thing now. We're going to be doing.
No, I'm telling you, I'm going in for sure in August, because I said in July, that's when I was like, okay, that's when I will have more opportunities to do things like that. So definitely, I'm definitely going to that. And the only reason why is because, like I said, we have so much history here in the United States. A lot of, like, I know Stig talks about Atlantis, and he talks about the rich act structure and stuff like that. But there are people, Saint Germain even talks about it. Like I said, I've read like 13, 14 of his books about him, from Isabel Cooper too. These aren't just regular people that's new age. These are people that are supposed to be the big dogs in the history of Saint Germain. And they talk about how the Americas was a type of Atlantis, like literally. And this is a dude that lived for hundreds and hundreds of years, that people still say that he still lives to this day.
Okay, right? I can say one thing about how old is Atlantis. We know about the cataclysm that ended it by Plato's story, but one of the things Plato says about it is that, number one, and I think it's the Rashad structure, like you said, thank you, but it was a natural structure. Cleito, the human wife of Poseidon, that's where she was from, it said. But then it said, over the ages, humans changed it. The kings of Atlantis, not just the first set, but through ages. How old is an age? And now we know Atlantis has to be at least 25,000. If there's two ages, let's say, I mean, the age we're in now,
1,000 years, right?
Well, okay, slow down. I don't want to be just a full procession of the equinox. A full cycle is 26,000 years, 360 degrees times 72. That's 25,920. I think I'm wrong. Anyways, the thing is that what age are we in right now? Test. What age are we in right now?
Aquarius. We just entered into.
Sorry, no, we're not. When Jesus was born, that year 0 was also the beginning of the age we're still in. It's Pisces. We're in Pisces, and we're not even close to the dawning of the age of Aquarius. We're about 800. We're about 800 years away from being in that age. Remember,
because that's when it floods. But we just got into the new Bach tune, and that's a whole other epoch age, and that's like the full 12,000. That's why the sun now is white. We're now in a new epoch age.
Before that, Bach
tune, the sun.
You said Bach
tune, the Bach tune, the Mayan calendar, and that one. That's when our yellow dwarf former sun started its transition into the white pulsar sun that it now is in, and this white pulsar is what the white light of knowledge and God that comes back, and that we go into a new golden age from it. But the demigods come back as well, right? It reconnects everything.
And these cycles, I mean, I was even introduced to a new one by Graham Hancock at the last show that I saw him at, and he was talking about the other cycle. It's like 41,000 years. What's that one?
I forget.
The elliptic? No, it's something
galactic.
No,
it's the galactic plane, which is the elliptic.
No, it's the cycle. It's 41,000 years, and I better ask. Before I get myself in trouble, I better ask Grok or something. It's just another little tweak. The 23.5 degrees is our precession angle, but there's this other is it obliquity cycle? That doesn't sound right. At 41,000 years, and so we've got all these different things. And I was we don't even get. I'll go back to being quiet for a little while. I do want to show you later a slide showing the ages. And I did do that deep dive
Bring it up.
a long time ago.
Why wait? Bring it up right now.
Okay. Let me show you right now. Then let me share my screen and entire screen, that one, and I'll give you some sound maybe and share. And
the power of the alchemist compel you. May the power of the alchemist.
That's an ankh, right? That's an ankh. Okay, I'm already sharing, but I got to find the slide. It's coming up in a second. Let me find the slides.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that.
Okay.
That's okay. I need a doobie break anyway, so I'll be right back, but I'll be watching and listening.
No. Let me show you this. You haven't seen this, Bernie. You have to look. This is it right here. Okay. This is the thing that I did long time ago. And Pisces started year 1.
Can you send me this?
Yeah, sure. It's
perfect. I'm stealing Stig's work.
Now look, I did it because
send me that too.
I did it because I wanted to find out when Leo was facing the age of, when the Sphinx was facing the age of Leo. And I found out it started about 9,000 BC. Somebody said, no, it's 10,000 BC. Well, that's the middle time. And then it ended. Well, take a look at how long the total years of that constellation is. It's the degrees, total degrees is 38. So the total years is 2736. And I mean, that's approximate, even though I found such a precise number.
A lot of time. And people.
Yeah, it ended, it finished 6,000. So 10,000 years ago, maybe, but not 10,000 BC. 11,000 years ago, it started. Wait a minute. I made a mistake. It started. Yeah. And now one more thing. Now the precession of the equinox is 25,920. I was right. It's down at the bottom where it says check.
Yeah,
and then I put in some extra years. That also shows that maybe the Sphinx was built 36,000 or 37,000 years ago for the age of Leo in the previous precession. That's why I put that little number on the side. However,
or older.
Going back to our first, the shortest ages are Cancer, which is only 720 years.
Shit, I'm only 720. Damn.
The other one that's short is Libra, but it's 1080. It's 15 degrees. The shortest one is Cancer, but it actually looks pretty big in the sky. I was just looking at Cancer. But what I want to say is there's also empty space between them. So they're not going to start counting the age if the equinox doesn't, the sun doesn't rise in that.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So March 21st is the spring equinox, and the sun rises. Now, if it's touching Aquarius, we're in it. but according to my research, the total years, look at the bottom where it says Pisces, it's 2952. So take away 2025, and you have still 27 years. Or if you say 2026.
Okay, so we got 1,000 years before the floods come. We can build some arcs in that time, guys. We can build our arcs in that time.
Yeah.
I'm taking a quick smoke break, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I got me some slides.
Okay, let me keep showing some slides. I'm gonna keep showing some slides. What did I learn today? I just learned something today, like I said, about the ages. Here's an image of the sun rising in Pisces. Now that says the year 1, March 21st. And as you can see, the sun is rising, but it's still not touching it. So this is an approximation. Maybe it wasn't 01, maybe it was 05. Maybe the year that of our Lord isn't exactly correlated with the very perfect beginning of Pisces. Or maybe they counted this star up here when we entered Pisces. This is Pisces, and that is Aries, the previous one. And what was the Aries one? Aries is 1080 also. It's only 15 degrees. So when Randall Carlson says something about our great year, well, we know that's 25,920. I believe him. But when we talk about the great month, I think that's all BS, because every age has a different length of time. So you can't say that you can divide up a great year by 12 and have a great month. That's just ignoring the fact that the ancients looked into the skies. And even Plato wrote about ages in Critias. This is something different. I won't go over that right now. But when we talk about our constellations, even the Mesopotamian ones knew a bunch of them, the basic 12, right? Those were recognized by Mesopotamia, Babylonian, even Sumerian. And don't tell me that the Big Dipper isn't in that list. Urza Major, it says Sumerian, Gilgamesh. Urza, wait, let me go back again. The Hunter, Orion, Sumerian. So these are all the originals, but then later on, some other ones were added. We have about 88 constellations. What did you want to know about? Let me go over what I found out today, because I wanted to show this earlier, but I didn't want to get my screen up. Some pictures of, you were there. And I wanted to go back to the beginning where I'm showing my recent research into the ancient Greek. These are all the ancient Greek versions. So Atlantis was this word, King Atlas was this word. And so instead of saying VTI and then this C with the serif, you have AS instead of VTI. So that's where I mentioned case and how the end of the noun will change depending on how it's used in the phrase or the sentence. Atlas Mountains. I do still believe that all these words, this is the ancient Greek from Plato that mentions in the front of, before the mouth of, and mouth of a strait and pillars of Hercules. There's no word saying far out into the Atlantic in these original texts. Here in this part, this is another excerpt. And it says
those dwelling outside the pillars.
Okay, but it's a relative position, not an ocean distance claim. So this one here is a little different. It's like inside and outside. They were at war with each other. He actually said, okay, so maybe that slide was out of line, but this was the first one where the word pro and stoma and exo were before or in front of. I told you it's not, Plato actually said that Atlantis was before the front, the pillars of Hercules. And I want to say this, just like you stand before a king, right? Just like you stand in front of somebody. So it's not really talking about before or after. It's talking about the preposition at. It's at the pillars of Hercules. Like he's standing at the front of the king. He's standing before the king. It's funny because when I taught English, we have before and after, and we have in front of, but what's the opposite of in front of? Behind, a one word. We don't have a single word for in front of.
Well, hold on. Well, this is a perfect opportunity. So let's go to the Strong's Concordance.
Yeah, do it. And you can wait, let me say one more slide before you take mine down. So according to this, northern Morocco or even southern Iberia. And I do believe that because the king's twin was named after Cadiz. Could have been Atlantis. This is it's in front of the Pillars of Hercules. Those outside were the ones we were at war with. Okay, go ahead.
What word was front? Let's look what front means.
Back here, let me go back. Pro, or there it is here. I can't copy and paste this right now, but it's pro. You can probably put, and here's a in front of / before the mouth. So we have pro, and then, I don't speak ancient Greek. Okay, I'm not going to pretend I do. There's mouth of a strait, there's Pillars of Hercules, and then over here there's let me go back to the one I showed you. Nope, wrong way. This one. This is the ancient Greek for in front of, or pro, before or in front of, and then stoma is the way it's pronounced. That's the word. This is the way it's pronounced, but the ancient Greek writing is right here.
So strong concordance number 55228.
Can you share that? Take my slide down and share that.
Yeah, I'll share it real quick. Hold on.
You can kick me out. It's okay. I'm trying to get there myself, but I can't kick myself out.
So I'll bring yours up back.
Let's look at what does that domain say up at the top? SB what?
That's BibleHub.com.
Okay. BibleHub.com. All right.
Yeah, it's where you can go for the strong concordance, and it breaks it down to you in simple terms and stuff. But this number right here, 5228, not coach or not coach. I don't know how to sell it. It says before, in front of, or opposite.
And that's the other thing I forgot to say. Opposite is across from. See, in English.
Oh shit! You went mute. Oh shit! What happened? Let me see. Hey, you went mute, bro. Hey, you went mute. You mute yourself. Yeah, you muted yourself. I thought it was my headset. You still muted. Yeah, you did something. But yeah, while you're doing that, I'll wait till you come back. This is the strong concordance for front. Let me see if I can find what it was for behind. Let's see oh shoot, I spelled that wrong. Let's look up behind and see what it does for strong concordance. So it's this word right here, Acker. I guess that's how you say it. And it's hold on. You're still muted. You're muted. You're actually muted this time though. Your mic's actually muted. But this is the word right here. It says,
so I'm back. Hello.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
All right. Yeah, dude, I wasn't touching anything when that happened. I literally had my hands in my lap, and I'm putting my hands back in my lap. Okay, so you were showing this, and I was saying that across from wasn't on that first one you showed us, and it's very ambiguous. Go on. And I don't see ancient Greek in those lists. Where's the ancient Greek?
This is the original word right here.
Oh, does that match what I showed? It does. Wait, let me take a look. It's a little different from the one I showed you. Can you go back to the other one you showed first? The one Concord or whatever it was. Oh, what's that? No. And you were okay. I see. I got my microphone working, and look, it auto goes down.
You talking about the other one?
The previous one on that page. Yes, you were showing it.
Knockout.
Go up there.
This one.
Okay, let's see. Before, opposite, in front of. Let me see. Okay, see, that's not what I'm seeing. Now, if you compare that to what I shared, you can see it. It's not showing the exact same thing. Over there, number one, the
so
spelling.
You said it's info. You said it's in, so let me see. So it says pro.
Yeah, we got to get. It's actually that's the pronunciation. So it's those 3 letters before pro is the actual word. And
that is about the same. Oh no, it's
the
not.
First one is the same. The first one, but there was no P or O in there.
Oh, let me see. Let me see.
Somebody muted me. I'm looking at the comments. Somebody muted me. Sweet baby Bronson, don't get too bored by us.
Oh shoot! Hey, check this out. Hold on, I'm about to show you. Hold on, let's see.
Sorry, Stig. I was trying to listen to what you're saying. Like I've been working on my lip reading, but I couldn't get it all.
Here, let me try it again.
Look at this. Look at this. This is the word. This is the word prose, and it's the same exact writing. It's the same exact writing that you have. Hey, look. Hold on. Look at what you got. Right. Look what you got.
Don't tell me you can't hear me now.
So, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right.
Sorry. Before we continue, where I'm from in Canada, prose that means prostitute. It's short for prostitute. So prose. That's the terminology where I'm from. All right. Please do continue. Prose.
Well, I think it's professional is what that comes from. Okay, there it goes right there. There you go. There you go. Except it has that one extra letter after it. Why is there an S? As I mentioned, okay, so this is ancient Greek. Maybe this is modern Greek.
It says about. It says according to, against, among, at, because of, before, between.
That's what I said. At. It's at the Pillars of Hercules. At, not before, not in front of. At.
So it was.
It says against right here. Against.
Against the Pillars of Hercules. So it was a prostitute at and against the Pillars of Hercules that this happened. Okay.
Hey, look, forward, toward.
Where's the at? Where's that at? I don't see
forward, toward. Oh,
the at is
up here. Nearness and at against towards. I saw it. It was actually combined. At, okay, according to, about, against, among, because of, before. See, then there you go. There's a lot of words that won't apply there. So there's so much ambiguity.
To or towards. Does this fit it right here? To, towards.
Yeah,
I don't get that Strong's exhaustive. I don't think
pro.
so.
This is pro. I found it.
There it is. There you got it right there. That's exactly the same right there.
It says above, ago, before, or ever.
What?
Ago. You get it?
No. And then there's before, and there's above, and ahead, and front. Just where's the at? See,
it says in front right here.
There's a lot. There's a prior to, in front of. Like I said, Plato said in front of the pillars,
or prior to.
Well, I mean, look, there's a lot of ambiguity, and there's a lot of ways to interpret this.
But it could also be above, though. See, it could also be above. So that's why some people consider.
That's probably why Nibiru was interpreted. This is why Nibiru was interpreted as a planet instead of.
That's why people. That's why people believe that it's a spaceship, but that just means land is above the water, though. That's all that means.
Oh, Tyrone. Did I get to tell you about the creation story of the indigenous people of the Okanagan that I was told?
Look at that.
So fish people, it was fish people, and that there's actually this sunken city, this ancient sunken city below the lake Kalamalka, where their creation story says they come from. And during the last cataclysm, the fish people took them in there, and that during the next cataclysm, the water will go out of the lake and the fish people will come out and take them back under into that city again to save them. And that apparently there's also, so this is right by Vernon, BC, and that there's like all these underground tunnels that run through the town of Vernon that are well known both by the natives as well as the locals. And that there's this underground, there's a literal deep underground military base that's like right behind the mountain with this lake. And that like all the locals talk about these helicopters, and the natives are like, yeah, these motherfucking military helicopters, Blackhawks and shit, like always going there, and it's wild. And I'm going back after I'm done here in California. I'm actually going straight back to the Okanagan, and I should actually get Wes on. We're planning on doing a podcast, but I should have him on with you guys to actually get him to tell his people's creation stories and his experiences out there, because they're alive and he's encountered, and it's what their people come from, right? So just the fish people are real.
Yeah, I keep telling people, man, that that when it comes up to the Sumerians or the Mesopotamians, I should say, they talk about individuals coming from the water. They specifically say the depths of the water. I know a lot of people say, well, the universe is considered an ocean and so on and so forth, but they don't say ocean. They
It's
say
like there's
water. I mean, some of the ships
depictions
say
of
ocean.
people as fish people in Egypt, in Mesoamerica, Mesopotamia, everywhere. It's like they're talking fish people from the water. Now, even the local tribes of the indigenous natives speak of the same. It's like they fish people from the depths.
Yeah. I mean, true. I mean, and I can tell you right now, I'm looking at the Greek version of. Well, see, this is the thing. Like, I know Stig says this a lot. He says that, you know, he there's only one version, which I agree with that. There's only one version as far as it first being written down for the first time. But after that, there's multiple versions, right? Like everybody had a version after that. And even the first person that wrote it down, we don't know what they said or what they meant. We won't even know what they ever really meant by Atlantis. I know that when I learned about how them translated, like earlier when I was talking about that Jesus was mentioned more in the Quran than in the King James version or in the Bible. It wasn't because of his name Jesus, because you know, in reality, when you look at the meaning of, you know, the Son of God or whoever like that, there are, and this is what a lot of people mistake too. They say that there's only one version of the Quran. There isn't just one version of the Quran. There are so many different versions of that. I've heard so many people say that there's
absolutely.
one version.
You're so right on that. It's indoctrination with how they try to teach that, and it's such BS because one, the Sunnis and the Shias alone have different versions. But then
that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
and then it's like on top of that. So I shout out Lulu. She's Syrian American, and it's like she got disowned from her family for questioning it. And it's like once we're off air, she's like on League of Extraordinary Adventures with us every week. Very smart woman, but we always talk philosophy and talk about history, and it's like she always tells me a different new version of the Quran that she's found, like because she just researches it nonstop, and like, and we got to have her on with you to go over it, because
you know, it's so
an epic show.
Yeah, it's funny. It's because I probably said King James version and I might have meant Bible, but anyway, when the Bible, when it was first written, it was only 5 books, right? Like there was only the Old Testament, and I know that it's so hard how they describe
the Torah. The 5 books is the Jewish Torah, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they only have 5 books when the Old Testament came out. Now there's up to 66 books. So when people say that, you know, this is what gets me. Everybody has a different amount of books that consider the Bible. When I said earlier, the Holy Bible just means books. That's really what Bible means. It just means books. So you can have 5 books, or you can have up to 88 books, which is the Ethiopian Bible has 88 books, right? 22 more books, I believe, than the Protestant Bible, which is 66. If I did my math.
It includes the Book of Enoch, right? The Ethiopian,
Maccabees and some other ones,
and that's why I questioned the whole. That's what Eric von Daniken was writing about, was Enoch, right? The chariots of the gods.
Well, he would see. Well, the chariots of the god comes more. I believe he was talking about the wheel of the Ezekiel wheel, and you know this. And I'm glad you brought this up because this is very interesting. That's Saint Germain shit, right?
Who's sharing that? That's not me. Who's sharing that?
Yeah, this is me, and this is Scythian, right? And it's but it could well be some Saint Germain.
No, I seen some. I got a book on. I got a book on Saint Germain having some kind of writing system on it that I was just looking at earlier.
Alchemy.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting, Bernie. And that Saint Germain, why was he a saint? The Germain. I got to do a deep dive on Saint Germain now.
I should know this.
I know what Saint George. And by the way, I was watching those.
Let Tyrone tell.
Who's that director that was doing all the Saints? The one that did Taxi Driver. What's his name? Scorsese.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Scorsese's doing a series on Saints, but you can't do them all. There's too many to do in any series. How many Saints do we have, right?
Well, Saint Germain, he had different names, and he was supposed to have been an individual that lived hundreds of years.
So this is Tartar.
This is Tartar alphabet.
Essentially, because it's the Hun Magur, right? Like the
wow. And now that's another well to go down, another deep dive, another. Man, I've been watching a lot of my lunch break, and I've been watching all this Tartarian. And now I'm not a mud flooder, and I definitely don't think the Earth is flat, but I definitely want to look at the Tartarian stuff going on.
Like the language, this is fascinating.
Oh no, we got somebody that's on. Last time we did a live stream, I had someone do a bunch of scam comments. Who's this lurking clown guy? Crypto Chemist 369 viewers, and then he puts a website.
Oh, that's someone on my. That's some
that guy?
weirdo. I don't know. That's on my Twitch. They always fucking scam.
All right, whatever.
On Twitch.
I don't want to promote him. Lulu is stoic. Who is Lulu is stoic? And
that's awesome. Lulu's stoic. She's one of the regulars on a weekly show that we do.
Sweet baby Bronson. What do you mean AI Atlas? Are you talking about the comet? Oh, he's talking about the comet.
Yeah.
And he says it's a nothing burger. I think it's a something burger, but it's not anything we have to worry about. I don't know about
exactly.
What's that right there?
So
and where'd you get that Tartarian alphabet?
Don't worry about my sources, bro. I got them.
I need your
content for days on.
I need your girlfriend's phone number. I need.
Oh, you wish. You wish.
Saint Germain perhaps had knowledge of the philosopher's stone, maybe even immortality. Thank you, Signs of Life.
Yes.
There you go. What's that? That's the Tree of Life right there. It looks like the Tree of Life you're showing.
This is Walter Russell's periodic table of octaves. And it was absolutely amazing. It predicted many elements long before they were officially discovered. And you see the original names that he created that are only now being recognized, like Elphanon and so many more. But yeah, that's a deep dive all on its own. That's a major key. And so are these. These are some of the key sigils of Solomon. And when we talk in demonology,
what is that? What are these things? Deep. What are these things?
Oh, you are an uninitiated, are you, sir? Let me initiate
what these are. They look like
Alchemy 101 of Solomon's key sigils. And
Solomon's key sigils.
Yes, because each one of these is a portal that either opens an angel or a demon. And there's
the demonology transmission right there.
Exactly.
I knew there was going to be a connection. I knew it. That's why I said that. Yeah, I knew it.
Bam! There it is.
There it is.
Tyrone.
Demonology and alchemists together. How do I sandwich Plato in on this?
That's what I was saying. Is that the symbolism you can see? Like if you look at you could tell what that the cross on there. That right there looks more like the Knights Templar or something.
Right,
like
exactly. And
yeah,
they also look like circuits too, man. It's like they crazy, and it's like
that thing in the middle looks like a bee. That thing,
I know it looks like a bee, right? Doesn't it? It's like it also kind of looks like a UFO here, but then it's like this looks like a bee overall, right? And it's like the two front and the back, and then it's like, are these circuits? And they are circuits, and there's circuits within the sigil, and that's what this is. This is energy stacking and transfer and direction. And is this to the stars and the planets, the heavenly bodies above, where it's coming from? But these are supposedly how you get an angel or a demon. So is this an angel, a hornet bee, or is it a demon bee? I don't know. But are we going to FAFO and see what happens? It's interesting times when we get into demonology. What are your thoughts, Tyrone?
Yeah, that's one thing that I've found interesting about the word demonology is the word demon is placed inside of it, right? And when you open up, because Stig talks about Plato a lot, if you open up Plato's book, shoot, I think it's
I've never
Cratylus.
read anything but those two. So anything else
Yeah,
Plato wrote, I don't know.
so he has one that's called Cratylus, Cratylus, and he actually it's between him, it's between Socrates and somebody else, or it might be with him and Socrates, but
A dialogue.
it's a dialogue basically. And Socrates says that demon means wise men or men who died honorably. I posted that on X. Matter, I could bring that on X.
Call me a demon then.
That's what I'm saying. I posted it on X, so it'd be easy to bring it back up.
It's interesting that earlier AI couldn't even tell me which book came first. Isn't it funny that even I can't remember if it's ChatGPT or Grok, but they didn't. I said which came first, Timaeus or Critias, and they're like, because the end of Critias is cut off. Zeus was about to say something, and right at the end they cut him off. That's the end of Critias. I can show you.
Yes, we are not allowed to know those words, and also AI is not allowed to. They make it that way.
The beginning of Critias, there's a introductory set of dialogue, and it's basically transitioning from the Timaeus dialogue to Critias. It literally is a connection, like you're literally seeing a flashback. Like, thank you for your. Timaeus talked about the creation of the universe. And I have to be honest, that's another thing I didn't even deep dive in yet. I can't. It's like I say King James Version because the first King James Version was probably in the same Old English that you showed earlier, Tyrone. It wasn't in this readable. This is the King James Version in my hand, but it's not in Old English. So what's the difference? Well, the King James Version in American English or Standard English or whatever English. This was printed in America right here. So it's definitely not the original King James Version, even though it says so. And it gets changed.
The words are just not the text itself.
Well, okay. I mean, Old English, I'm assuming that King James, because what you showed us with what you showed us earlier, that was what I call Old English, even though there were a lot of words that were perfectly not Old English. And maybe it's a couple of them. Maybe they are cheating. Who knows? I mean, the book was printed in the last 100 years, not back in 16 whatever. And you were saying that was before the King James Version of the Bible, because you were saying that was in the 1500s. So maybe he stepped away from Old English. I'm going to do a deep dive later. I'll shut up. Go on.
No, so that's a good way, because Sweet Baby Bronson just asked a question. It just came up. It says, so what does the Bible refer to when it says demons? So everybody that knows about the Bible, that studied the text, they're going to use the Strong Concordance, or they're going to use lexicons and so on and so forth and all that stuff. So like I said, Plato, because you talk about Plato a lot.
Sweet Baby Bronson also says never heard that one before. Which one? What? You can't be like that. You got to be less ambiguous and say, what have you never heard before? And you were saying about Plato again. What were you saying, Tyrone?
Yeah, because you always talk about Plato, and you always talk about Atlantis. Plato has a book called Cratylus. Like I said, it's Cratylus, and I posted this back in May of 2024, so almost 2 years ago. And this is on my Kindle, because like I said, I have a Kindle, so I have all of Plato's books available to the general public on my Kindle, and I've read every single one of them. And I can tell you that when I was reading this book here, it says Socrates, and therefore I have the most entire conviction that he called them demons because they were Damians, knowing or wise, and in our older Attic dialect, the word itself occurs. Now he and other poets say truly that when a good man dies, he has honor and a mighty portion among the dead and becomes a demon, which is a name given to him signifying wisdom. So demon literally signifies wisdom. Okay.
And that, by
And
the
I
way, was what Sweet Baby Bronson was talking about. He said that demons meaning smart man. So he said he never heard this one before.
Yeah,
So
that's
you're
what I'm saying. The
explaining it.
wise man. Yeah, and
There
it
you
goes
go.
on. It goes on, and it says, "And I say too that every wise man who happens to be a good man is more than human, Dame, and then it says daemonian, both in life and death, and is rightly called a demon." So the Greeks, Socrates at that time frame, looked at demons in a good light rather than somebody that what we see today as evil looking or somebody
So the
that's ugly.
alchemists might have all been
Yeah,
demons.
and
That's
it,
why
and
they
it, and it,
demonize the demons.
and it doesn't stop there. Like I have the locations, like I took pictures of the locations of what they talk about that says that the notion that demons or lesser divinities are the sons of God is not to be regarded as ironical or skeptical. Then it says, what shall follow the gods? Her must not demons and heroes and men come next? Socrates or Soc or whatever, demons, and what do you consider to be the meaning of the word? Tell me if my view is right, her let me her. And I mean, it just talks about demons a lot in there. Like that's one of the reasons why I like my Kindle, is because I can open up a book, somebody says something that strikes my curiosity, I can type it into my Kindle and it brings me straight to it. That's the reason why I do like a lot of digital uh records in the first place, is it because it makes it easier to search stuff. When you have a book on hand, you got to go through the pages and find it. But that's one of the reasons why I have keep a lot of tabs on my book, because whenever we're talking about a specific topic, I can go in there and look at the tabs that I have. But like I said, when it comes to demons, I don't know why we look at them as evil looking things as of today, because like we're talking about demonology. Well, what is demonology? Well, it'll be basically about wise, right? Being being wise and teaching other people
Hey,
how to be
do me
wise.
a favor. Show my screen real quick. Show my screen. It should be right. Yeah. Where? No, I mean there it is. Check out this guy Rob Words, and I'm going to show you this. He does this collaboration with Words Unraveled, and everything you're talking about. Like I don't see. Okay, I watched this. The Origin of the Alphabet, explain every letter. British country names.
Yeah,
Those
I can tell you right now. I already
really good stuff right
threw
here.
that in.
And also they got a third channel. So she's got her channel, and then they have a third channel together. And I would check this guy out, because a lot of what you're talking about, I don't even want to try to repeat what I remember him talk, because I can't even remember half this stuff. And what I mentioned, so there you go. You can go back to your screen now. Rob Words
I
and
already brought it in.
Words Unraveled. She also knows her stuff, and she's the American and he's the British guy. So if you really want to get like the British American English explanations, they every state's name explained, Viking words, 9 letters lost of the alphabet, is English Germanic. And there was another channel I watched about the European expansion of English, which was not this channel at all, but it was really good. I'd have to deep dive into my history for that.
But
So
see,
I really like this guy.
It's just crazy, because just think about that. People like that, I've never heard of them. Have they ever been on TV and stuff like that?
No, it's just YouTube. Hey, look, the Oscars are going to be on YouTube before the end of the decade. The Oscars are going to YouTube.
Oh yeah, I definitely see their website now. Website now. I see.
We are the future. We are taking over YouTube. Let me tell you, one way or the other. Whether it's just Bert and Ernie shorts through AI, or Bernie taking physical Bert and Ernie characters to the beach and on top of mountains, I am going to the top of YouTube if they will stop deleting my subscribers.
Yeah, I hear you on that. And that's why when you went into that, what was it called? I actually looked for Bible Hub. But let me show you one more thing, because I think I found it, and I'm not sure. Bible Hub. Where was that? It's down here. Let me grab it. Yeah, wait, I have concordance, so it must be correct. I don't know where to go in this. You showed us this tonight. I'm going to save it right now under, let's go with history. And I went to the Greek, and then there's all the Greek letters are up there. Maybe I should learn Greek before I die. And yes, I'm going to read more of what Plato wrote before I die, and Homer as well. But I want to study the ancient Greek. I don't want to get all these translations. I want to do it with AI so I can get it directly from the ancient Greek.
Yeah, like I said, man. Like I said, man, you can learn it if you want to learn it fluently. But in reality, bro, like that's why I said, as long as you know the basics, if you know the letters, then you're good.
I don't understand this website. This is I clicked on Greek.
It's a confusing website. I told you that before. It's a very confusing
Bible
website.
Hub. So this is the root. This is the root platform right here. This is the index page, BibleHub.com. And then how did you get to where you got with that word? Did you type it in?
All I did was just type it in Google and then typed in strong concordance after that. But yeah, type it
right there. Gotcha. So this shows Bible, then NT, then OT, then topics, then questions, Greek, Hebrew, Atlas, library, and Apocrypha. What is Atlas? It must be like, tell me where Jerusalem was.
Pull it up.
Well, I'm going to search something. I'm going to search Jerusalem. And it has nothing. Did I spell it wrong?
Yeah,
Did I spell it wrong? How do you spell it?
Yeah.
Okay, what popped up here now? This is NIV NLT. What is this?
New International Version.
Oh, this is the Bible again. All right, so I'll play with this later. Yeah, this is good. I like it. I like it a lot. But I don't need it right now.
It's a free website. It's a free website. It's the go-to for anybody that likes digital stuff. They actually have a strong concordance website, like an actual website. So that is. Hey, I need you to send me that slideshow of all that stuff so I can pick all that stuff that you have.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. This is going to be easy peasy. I'm going to share the whole thing. Copy the link. I'm going to make sure it's shareable. It says it can. Okay, so it's done. I copied it. I'm going to put it right now in the live chat. It's going to be in the live chat. You can grab it from there. Everybody can grab this. You can get the information on the ages. You can get this right here, which is the timeline that I've created over a 5-year period. And what it says here is that there was no telephone game between Plato and Solon. Dropidas had Solon's notes, and he passed it down. Dropidas was the great-grandfather Critias the Younger mentions in Critias. So you can go to this with that link that I just put in the live chat. These 4 people were alive at the same time for sure. Socrates, Critias, Timaeus, Hermocrates, and Plato. I got a new thing on, never mind. I don't want to change the subject. What was the question?
No, I was just saying, like, I just, like I said, man, it's just, I was saying this earlier when you had stepped away, that you say that there are many, that there's only one translation, right? But you use AI. Because you said ask you some hard questions.
Okay, can I clarify? I was listening when you said that, and I was thinking of both the Bible.
Good points.
The Bible and whatever Plato wrote. Whatever Plato wrote down on that paper is dead. It was 2,600 years ago. So whatever Solon wrote on was 2,600. Plato was 428.
I put on the sheriff glasses. It's questioning time, Stig. Tyrone,
there you go. Okay, let me get my glasses.
Let
me get the hardcore answer glasses. Where are they? Okay, but let me say. Okay, you got me off track. But what I want to say is,
all right. Question number 1, Stig.
Wait. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. That whatever Plato wrote down on it disintegrated. Whatever paper his students copied it, and then the student of the student copied it, and then eventually it became mainstream. But the original words are gone, right? But when you look at this, not the Atlantis. This is Atlantis. When you look at this painting that shows all the Greek, it's here done by Raphael. I'm sorry about this. It's a little bit. I just want to show this, and I shared that. This one right here. When you look at this, all these people are identified by their students. Their students, and they don't. The original stuff's gone. So we have to rely on the telephone game, but by writing. It wasn't just a telephone game. I missed my point, but go on. You were gonna ask me a question, Bernie. Ask your question. I'm ready.
Right. Hard
I got my glasses on for that.
number one. Hard question number one.
Thank you, because I wanted
one version, but then there's AI.
Oh. So
hard question number one. Let's see your chest. Was that AI topless stack Stigs that we're seeing in these pictures recently, or is that the real Stig deal? What's the one story?
You know what? That same question has been asked of me over and over and over again for the last. I mean, let's cut it down. Stig, are you fucking legit or not? That's pretty much the question, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm too legit to quit. I ain't quitting. If I die, I quit. I quit when I die, bro. I quit when I die. Sweet Baby Bronson says he thought I was subbed to my channel. You cut me deep, Sweet Baby Bronson. You cut me deep. You better sub up. You better
resub.
Hell yeah. Click that bell.
Because we're doing a real life meetup coming up.
Bernie, next question. Go. Next question. If you want to study ancient Greek philosophers, you need to study this painting. Even Raphael himself did these paintings. Yeah, drop those links. See, Plato right here was done with the face of Leonardo da Vinci's style, if you notice. If you look at that. But that's not Leonardo da Vinci. That's Raphael. This painting is a history lesson in itself. School of Athens by, I think, Raphael. Hermocrates was so the Plato was supposed these dialogues about Atlantis and was supposed to be a trilogy. Hermocrates was the next one, but Timaeus was first, and then Critias was second, and Hermocrates was going to be third. And it's very clearly written within those dialogues that was what was supposed to happen. Hermocrates was waiting, and then Plato never finished Critias for some reason. Timaeus, it's very clear, and I did. Oh, that's what I want to show you, if I can. Let me see how to do that. No, I have to go somewhere else. It's impossible right now. So what I want to say is the whole introduction. What I can show you is this. I'll show you this. It's right here. This is Critias, and I took this right here. Timaeus, Critias. This first introduction, before I get down to my highlighted stuff, which is right down here, before that, so I'll just highlight that. I took that portion and I put it into Grok. And I said, Grok, I want you to read that to me. But don't just read it to me in American English. I want you to give it to me in the form of a 10-year-old. I want a 10-year-old. Grok, where are you, Grok? Come on now. I want my previous Groks. Where's that? How do I do it? History right there, I guess.
Grok history.
There we go. And it's right down here. Where is it? King James? No. No, it's got to be. Ouch. You know what? I'm in the wrong. I don't know. Maybe I did it in ChatGPT. Let me just say this. It's pretty simple. Timaeus is saying, I have arrived here. But what it really means is I did it. I gave my speech. And he says, like a weary traveler, but what it's saying is I said everything I had to say. And if I said anything wrong, I pray that I'll receive my retribution. It's really hard to understand this. And then Critias is saying, now it's my turn. I'm just going to keep it short. And then Socrates says, yes, Critias, we will give you the same. I mean, it's really hard to understand what he's saying, but he's saying, you're all good. Now Critias is to do a good job. And then later Hermocrates says, I take the warning. And when it's my turn, then I'm going to try to do my best. And I invoke Apollo and Muses to help me. It's just really hard to understand. So I wanted to read to you, and I guess it's going to take me some time to find it. I put it in my video. So go check out my video I did today on what Grok translated that. I thought it was right here, but I don't see it. And I'm worried that I'm logged in the wrong browser or some crap like that. There, thanking Jimmy. That's not it.
Uh-oh. Hard question number 3. Why are you worried about the wrong browser, Stig? What history would we see?
Because you know, the farther down I scroll, you're going to find question, am I gay? Question, do I add up in life? Question, I've seen enough gay porn to know that I'm not gay. You know, it's a problem, bro. It's a problem. I don't know. It's somewhere around here. I'll find it next time. Anyways, chats, please chat about what I just said, especially Sweet Baby Bronson.
Oh, God.
And I can talk about the dispensaries in California very clearly. Sweet Baby Bronson, I'll tell you what, we are 2 hours in exactly.
I do like it.
24 seconds. I'm going to tell you that, thank you. Well, please subscribe and then I'll thank you. But the dispensaries here, I can tell you everything about them, but that's not going to be on this video. I don't want YouTube jacking us up, hemming us up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't take my phone outside and smoke weed on the stream because then it'll get freaking demonetized and 18 plus only, and it's on multiple channels, right? We are responsible streamers. We are co-piloting together, and we do not do drugs while we co-pilot. All right. You know, if we like recreational marijuana, we do it after hours, right? Like after show. That's, you know.
Is Stig a time traveler? Thank you for asking that question, Sweet Baby Bronson. I wish I were. You know what I'd do? I'd go back in time and I'd undo everything. I'd never go to school. I'd invest in Bitcoin, as we all would, right? And and I'd never go to school. I'd just start working. I wouldn't even finish high school. I promise you. I would be like, get me out of this, and I'm going to go start making money so I can invest in the double freaking whatever the finance world calls it. In my brain, I'm a time traveler. I'm dreaming of it. Thank you. Yeah, how did I do that? I don't even remember doing that. I would, if I were a time traveler, I'd go back to the time of Genesis and I'd meet the Nephilim.
Hell yeah!
I freaking box it out. Let's go, Nephilim, brother. Let's go.
But yeah, you just brought it up. I'm actually shocked you just brought it up too, that we are 2 hours in. Do y'all want to keep going or y'all want to shut it down?
I'm happy right now.
I'm pretty tired, so I'm
let's go another 15 minutes. 15, another 15 minutes.
15.
Yeah, and then you go
Bernie,
first.
You want to go to sleep? We can't keep him up. You got a long day tomorrow. You said you climbing the mountains tomorrow. Right?
I got some slides to go through. I got some fucking slides to go through, brother. Come on now.
Today.
Okay, I'll tell you what. When I get to the last slide, you hang up everything and I'll go to sleep myself. I'm gonna go watch Kill Tony. I'm gonna go watch Kill Tony. Do you know what that is?
Do I want to?
Kill Tony is a comedy show about stand-up comedy.
I do know Kill Tony. I do know.
Yeah, I love it. I've been watching it. Look, here it shows the twin of Atlas received the allotment of land closer to the Pillars of Hercules across from Cadiz. We know where Atlantis was, okay? We know where it was. Sweet Baby Bronson, have you subscribed yet? Look at this LiDAR scan by the Rashad structure. You see one. Look at that. There's one. There's two. There's another one right next to it. There's 3, 4. Those are all bridges and dams. This one goes across the whole land. I've been there. Sweet Baby Bronson, I fucking been there. You got to subscribe.
Not once, not twice, but thrice. Thrice times this man was there. And a 4th time, he got detained by the authorities as he was trying to enter. And we did a live stream to get him out.
We did a live stream on Bernie's channel, and I think I finally got on my channel. You're the man, Bernie, because you were there for me when I needed to do that stream, not on my channel, but to make sure that
that was like your proof of life, fucking like get me out.
Yeah, like I've been here for 48 hours, and they're coming for me. They're coming for me. Oh my God. And you were there and we did it on your channel. And thank you for that, Bernie. I owe you for that. And you have supported me so much. You have supported me. And I do thank you. And I do want to, that's why I'm going to come get you in LA. I'm 120 miles away from you. I got to get money for gas practically. I'm probably going to have to hit up, by the way, I think Anna sent me money and I got other money. Look at this canal, 50-mile canal that's cut through going straight towards the mouth of the Rashad structure. This was something. If it wasn't Atlantis, it was something, right? If it wasn't Atlantis, it was something.
as part of the ancient vast civilization and of probably the Nephilim, like it's huge. It's massive terraforming, whatever it is.
These guys, okay, because of me, I found this, and then these guys, Atlantis tours, these Russians went there. There they are in the canal. Look at them. That's them. The arrow's pointing right at 1, 2, 3, 4 people. They have a drone. This canal was frigging big, okay? And it went, and they found this thing in there. And this thing was like a wall of some sort. It had these segments in there. And you can see the first segment and the second segment. And you can see that something was in that friggin' canal. All right, let's keep moving along. We're going to shut this down soon. But I just wanted to let you know, man, this was also Atlantis. In my mind, if the freaking... Okay, I want to be clear. The king of Mauritania at the time was not in Mauritania. Sorry, he was in Morocco. And what's in Morocco? Well, Atlas Mountains, and the king of Mauritania was King Atlas, not the story from Plato, the real King Atlas. And so there's this thing, that's Marrakesh up there, and then the highest point in the Atlas Mountains. I've been there, and then down here, the Sumas, this was exactly where Plato pointed to. Even if it wasn't, I don't care. I get into what I used to do is what do you call it? Google Earthing. And now we're doing a lot of topographic stuff. I think that the whole world was Atlantis. Look at this other thing.
I like that.
Nobody knows what this is. It was right next to the Rashad structures right here. And what is it parallel to? The ancient equator. This freaking new find. It's just like the Rashad, but different. It's got canals going through it. I've shown this. You know what this is, Bernie. You've seen that before.
Yeah, I have. We've done episodes on it. It's pretty epic.
We've done episodes. It's old news now, but
it's old news for those that have been following Stig and me with, we've been diving deep into this for years.
I owe you, Bernie. I'm going to come get you. You can cricket at my house. You want to help me with some electricity? I think you would be useful. You laughed at my
I don't want to
Matrix.
I don't want to be in your burned down house when it burns down with your bad electricity, but I will help you with it. But mostly, we got to go to Steve Ellswick's place, the owner of Tesla Tech.
Okay, here's the thing. I'll tell you what. I got the car. You get the gas money. How's that for a deal?
Done deal. Bump, bump, bump. We'll see you
It's going to be like $200 in gas to go to Vegas. I want to go, but
I'm not going all the way. We're only going halfway. I'm not going to Vegas. I'm going to Steve Ellswick's place, bro.
What's the city? What's the location?
It's not a city. It's a airstrip and small town in the Nevada desert that is a new test site for our crazy science, where we get to try shit where we don't know how big of an EMP pulse it's going to do. We don't know if it's going to go boom. We don't know, when we combine in magnitudes of energies, this is the place that we're going to be doing the test range. And
well, you got to give me some coordinates. If it's in the middle of Vegas, it might be a little tough.
It's not in Vegas.
I meant to say Nevada. So you're saying that it's between Nevada and California? It's between Vegas and California and Nevada?
Yeah.
All right, take a look at this. This is the Grand Canyon, okay? I'm telling you, that's Utah. There was something going on here. So I definitely think Atlantis was a global thing. I think this was done by giants before Atlantis, actually. But look, something is big on this whole planet. And this is South Africa. Somebody knew how to make these ridges. They're not volcanic dikes. This is not just something humans do. That little white speck is a house. This was done by giants, probably way before Atlantis. Plato says the ages. I found this. Remember Stig's mound? We got to go there, man.
How could I ever forget Stig-em-up's mound?
All right, bro. You're sounding tired, and it is true. We're going to close this down. And by the way, I just finished. I love both of you. Yeah. And you did poke me. I saw your poke, but I have to be honest.
Fools. Shout out Traveling Fools channel. Great show.
Hey,
Great
look,
channel.
guys, let's have a quick conversation after this shuts down. Last
All
chance for talk. Was there any chats of value here? I see Sweet Baby Bronze
All right,
is
I'm
still
showing-
here.
First
Anna?
off,
I think
after
Anna
we're
went
at
to
the
bed.
end, I got
Thank
to
you,
show
Anna.
my alter egos. We got Bert, we got Oscar the Grouch that says scram because I'm about to scram, and then we got Ernie. And Bert, Oscar, Ernie equals Bernie. Bernie's been working on some electrodes. All right, I got me electrodes, which are also the plasma wands. And I'm gonna be selling these pretty soon, and you guys can like start feeling the energies yourself.
I want you if I pick you up, you're bringing that. I want to feel that.
Shooting, I bring the vibes with me everywhere. I bring this good energy, and I've been making coils since I've been here. So we're gonna start selling some coils too. And yeah, see it. So you do the energy like that, and then remember, you want to have the pure metal, the anode and electrodes.
You're gonna bring that too.
Silver and gold.
Right there.
Yeah, you paying to drink that because that's pure silver and this pure gold.
But,
and prices is way up. So it's like they say, "Oh, what are you gonna do with physical gold and silver?" Well, I'm gonna make magic potions out of it and live forever. That's why I want my gold, and my silver. But the key thing is when you have what Stig's holding up, you know how to do it right, so you don't waste it. You don't turn it into the blue diatomic oxide and poison yourself and waste your gold and your silver. Although it is a very strong antibacterial and antiviral, right? It's a very strong disinfectant. But the nanomaterials, you get it in onto your skin, it absorbs, and you very quickly get heavy metal poisoning. Also, you get the wrong colloidal or ionic waters that are oxidized, you will be poisoned and die. Or if you get the wrong stuff that's sold as monatomic silver and gold, but
I was going to give you this for that, but now you're making me
this is aluminum. You can't even tell the difference. This one's going to poison and kill you too, right? So you got to know what you're doing, and don't do the wrong thing, or you will turn into a blue Smurf and die very quickly.
How do people connect with you, Bernie? You know what you're talking about. How do we connect? How do we follow you?
On YouTube, my handles were on my name there at Burneye, BURNEYE. That's my backup, or Crypto Alchemist 369. Yeah, and Tyrone, Rebirth of the Word, and
yeah.
I don't know where my phone.
I'm
going to show you. This is it shows the Aztec, the Mexican Aztec on there. You can barely see it.
Oh. Okay,
anyways, when you come, I'm going to give you this silver for a sip of that. I take this.
Okay, we'll trade. I'll trade. I'll make more out of that. That's a fair trade. I'll trade silver for silver.
999 silver round. Yeah. Where's my phone?
That's what I need.
There's my. I found my phone. I found
you
my
got
phone.
yourself a deal.
We're all good. We're all good. Ah!
He's blinded. He's blinded by the light.
How did that happen?
I'm gonna close it.
Hey, stick around. Let's have a quick chat offline.
All right, I'll close
have
it
a
down.
Good evening,
all right, until next time, everybody. Knowledge is power is going to do it out.